Have you ever worked with someone who steals everyone else's ideas? Tony was that guy in our marketing department who somehow always had the best ideas in meetings. Every presentation he gave was brilliant. Every campaign he pitched was genius. The executives loved him. He got promoted twice in his first year. Thing is, nobody could figure out when he actually had time to come up with all this stuff. What was weird was how our team's best ideas kept showing up in Tony's presentations. Like Natalie would mention something in our Monday brainstorm, and by Friday's executive meeting, Tony would be presenting it as his breakthrough concept. Or Vinny would share a strategy draft in Slack, and next thing you know, Tony is getting praised for that exact same approach. He was slick about it too. He'd change a few words, tweak the colors on a slide, maybe add a graph, just enough to make it look like his own work. Then Gabriella caught him red-handed. She'd sent him her campaign proposal to review at 11 p.m. At 8 a.m. the next morning, he presented it to the CEO as his overnight stroke of genius. Gabriella was sitting right there in the meeting, watching him present her exact deck with just the title slide changed. She called him out right after the meeting. Tony played dumb, said great minds think alike, claimed it was parallel thinking. But Gabriella had the email timestamps. People started comparing notes after that. Tony didn't back down though. He just got sneakier, started showing up to coffee runs when people were chatting about projects, would volunteer to compile everyone's ideas into a master document, then present it as his vision. He even started recording brainstorm sessions, claiming it was for note-taking purposes. Then he'd splice together everyone's best ideas and pitch them in his one-on-ones with leadership. The worst part was when he started befriending the new hires. These fresh grads would share their innovative ideas with him, thinking he was mentoring them. Next thing they knew, their concepts were being presented to the board with Tony's name all over them. He even won a company innovation award for an app idea that literally came from an intern named Malik. Malik quit 2 weeks later. The downfall started when Tony decided to steal from the wrong person. Sophia from our Brooklyn office had developed this revolutionary supply chain optimization system. She'd spent 2 years perfecting it, had all the data, all the testing documentation. She was flying in to present it to the board herself. Tony somehow got access to her presentation the night before. Maybe he sweet-talked someone in IT. Maybe he shoulder-surfed her laptop password at the hotel bar. Nobody knows for sure. But the next morning, 30 minutes before Sophia's scheduled presentation, Tony requested an emergency slot with the board, said he'd been working on something game-changing all weekend and needed to share it immediately. He went in there and presented Sophia's entire system, every algorithm, every cost projection, every implementation phase. The board was blown away. They were talking about making him VP of operations on the spot. Then Sophia walked in for her scheduled presentation. She opened her laptop, pulled up her slides, and the room went dead silent. It was the exact same presentation, not similar, identical, down to the custom graphics she'd designed herself, down to the typo on slide 23 that she'd meant to fix. Tony tried to jump in, claimed Sophia must have hacked his computer, that she was trying to steal his work. But Sophia had something Tony didn't know about. She'd embedded invisible watermarks in her presentation, microscopic text in the graphics that said, created by Sophia, with timestamps from 6 months ago. She also had the entire development history on GitHub, showing 2 years of commits, every test result, every iteration, her name on every single piece of code. The board's IT specialist verified it all right there in the meeting room. Tony was fired that afternoon, but it got worse. The company did a full audit and found he'd stolen from at least 12 employees. 3 of them sued him. His LinkedIn now has a 2-year gap he can't explain. Last I heard, he was working at his uncle's carpet store.